Of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the agenda, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Agenda is approved. Next, we have the consent agenda.
I'll move for the approval of the consent agenda.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any questions, comments?
I have a couple. Page 206, Emergency Services LLC, power door lighting services. I was curious as to what that was. Is that garage door for the building over here?
Emergency services.
Emergency
Services recently, what's the amount?
2,400 or something?
Okay, that's, we were having an issue with a short in our vehicle's power system. It was continually burning fuses. We took it to Emergency Services, who specializes in police and emergency vehicle electronics. They ended up rewiring the entire car, and then after they had done that, found that it was a defective siren module, so that also had to be replaced, $2,400.
Okay, it was just, you know, I wasn't sure what it was, and when it said emergency services, I
Yeah.
just thought I should probably ask about it. I have one other one that I probably shouldn't bring up, but I'm gonna bring it up anyhow. Delta Hotels Muskegon for $46 for beverages. I don't know for sure what it is and for who it is for, so.
That was actually mayors and managers, and that's been reimbursed. I actually accidentally used the city credit card instead of mine, so now they're on different sides of my wallet, so I know which one to grab. They're both PNC, so that has been reimbursed.
Okay. Thank you, that's all I had.
Anyone else? All right. All those in favor of the consent agenda, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no.
No.
Consent agenda is approved. Next, we have messages from the mayor, city council, and city manager. Let's start with the longevity awards. We have some awards to give out tonight. First up is Julie Davis, DPW Office Coordinator for 5 years of service. Nice new coat.
Wait.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you.
Next is 20 years of service to Officer Chris. Oh, yes.
No,
I just got excited with the 20 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Brooke Schiller, Assistant Finance Officer, Treasurer. Also 5 years. Thank you for your service.
You felt a red right there.
There you go. Thank you. Officer Chris Mahoney, 20 years. Oh, thank you. Thank you for 20 years of service. What a teamwork. I think the jacket. 20 years. I'm just amazed.
Yeah.
Thank you. Continue your service, please.
I got a long time to go.
Yes, you're still a young guy. All right. Next we have messages from the mayor, council, City manager. City manager, do you have anything for us?
Not this evening, Your Honor.
All right. Jeff?
Oh, I start with me again. Actually, I do have something this time. Can we look into, I don't know if we can do it this budget or not. I mean, people talk about a junk pickup. I took a drive around town the other day, I think it would be warranted. Not to say we would get some of the stuff I saw, but
You gotta get the people.
I gotta get the people to bring it out to the curb.
Take it from the alley to the.
Exactly.
to the road.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know if it needs to be an annual thing, maybe a semi-annual thing, or biannual, whatever you wanna call it, every couple of years. And like I said, if it's by the ton with the pickers out there, it might be reduced quite a bit, way things have been going, but.
You can probably look at that for next fiscal year. With this year pretty much winding down.
Yep.
Time's not really on our side either to get it in before.
Yeah, we'd have to try to get rid of somebody, but yeah, maybe we can start working on it for next year and
Yep.
get that notification out. That's okay.
I have a couple things. One, are we doing a branch pickup this spring?
Yes.
I had 3 people inquire in the last 3 days about whether we were doing one, and I said I thought it used to be every other year, so I wasn't sure.
Nope, it's every spring, a brush pickup, and I don't know if Brooke or Brian has the dates.
First Monday in May.
First Monday in May.
Okay, so it's usually the first week in May, but I wasn't sure. Okay, and the other thing I have is I wanna know if we can add as a discussion item at our next work session, the enforcement of ordinances.
We can, but we probably were going to target the next work session as the first budget work session, and schedule one for the 19th as well.
We'll get to it somewhere along the line.
Anything else, Scott?
Nope, that's it.
We'd spoken a while back on the topic of gypsy moths and treatment, and as we're getting right now on the cusp of the season for that, I wonder if there's been anything else at perhaps county level above or regional that has moved toward any sort of treatment on that front?
Nope, thought I had sent something out to council. The Muskegon County did do a survey of the White Lake area and did not find a large enough concentration of the gypsy moths to warrant a spraying. They did go ahead and contacted, I think, 4 agricultural sprayers for cost estimates. And I think the one that they got required at least 50 acres. And I don't know what the price was, so you'd have to get a lot of residents in the city to band together to put something together to spray their neighborhood. And the other item is that this would be the 3rd year of a 3-year cycle. So it's, in essence, it's dying out. So the county is not doing anything countywide other than supplying some references if a large enough number of people with a large enough property would like to band together.
All right.
I would like to add to that gypsy moth is no longer politically correct. Now the correct term is spongy moth. That is the accepted term to be using. Basically, because the Romany, or the gypsies, felt that was derogatory towards them. So now we're using spongy moth. That's
Now we'll hear from the sponge.
a lot back here.
Just one question to go along with Councilmember Brown's question on the branch pickup. Have we set a schedule for leaf pickup? by this spring?
April 15th through the 29th.
I'm sorry, it's been,
April 15th through the 29th.
thank you.
April 15th through the
And we
29th.
will, probably in the next couple of weeks, have the spring newsletter coming out with all that information.
Steve?
Just stole my question.
Oh,
So, I have nothing for tonight.
Keith?
I don't have anything for tonight either.
All right. Things are good. All right. Let's move on to public comment. If you have a public comments, please step forward, state your name and address, and 3 minutes for your comments. Yes, Bruce.
Thank you, Mayor. And that was a wonderful interval a few days ago with the biker from Hong Kong.
Yes, that was.
So thanks to you and Leslie and your companions for putting him up. For those who don't know, a citizen of Hong Kong seeking political asylum in the United States came to LA, was very down, found a sponsor, and is now bicycling across the United States, publicizing the treatment of Hong Kong by China, and staying in various people's homes, home hospitality on the journey. I'm here mostly to show you the map, my visual prop. The green section is the northwest corner of the county. These are the new county commission districts. And to let you know, my first choice would have been for Ken Mahoney to run again, but he chose not to, and so folks have approached me, and indeed I'm here with petitions letting you know that I'm running for the county commission seat on the Democratic ticket for this November. And that's my purpose tonight, is to let you know about that, to encourage people to reach out to me with what their concerns may be. And in the meantime, if you have a signature or two in your pen, please get a hold of me to help me get on the ballot. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Michael Whiteneck. I live at 1634 Collier Drive West. And a little less than a week ago, or a little bit more than a week ago, we were walking our dog, and he was viciously attacked by two animals that came out of a yard where there wasn't any tether or safeguard to keep him pinned in. And it was really traumatic for my wife and I and the dog, and it was just really a bad scene. So we researched that particular address with the help of the Whitehall police, and discovered that that particular address had been the source of 4 other incidents with their animals where they'd been off the leash and had either been roaming around. At one point they were inside the dollar store. Another point, just about a year ago, they actually went after a 7-year-old woman and bit her dog. Of those 4 incidents, only one that we saw in the report did they get a warning. So I guess our point is, it appears that the running at large ordinance for dogs is not really being enforced with any kind of velocity. And I would suggest that be addressed and corrected. The one thing that we did see in the regulations is that for barking dog, the first offense is $100, second offense $200, and the third offense $300. For a dog at large, it's half that, 50 for the first, 100, 200. So I just really am concerned that our dog, by the way, he's going to be okay, but he definitely suffered injuries, and we had to go to a lot of expense to take him to the vet and have him, addressed and taken care of. But the outcome might be different down the road. It could be a much serious or worse outcome. And we were on a sidewalk across the street where the dogs were being somewhat contained. They were on a deck without a leash, without collars, and they just took off over the rail of the deck and came right at our dog. So it's just something that I think you guys should really be looking into and seeing if these regulations couldn't be, ramped up, particularly with all these animals that seem to be running around, without leashes or any kind of tether or anything. And it's not that uncommon for us. We walk our dog quite a lot in Whitehall to see dogs running through yards or whatever that don't have any kind of restraint. So it's just something that we feel strongly about, and hopefully you'll take this to heart and address the issue.
Thank you. I'm very sorry for your experience, and I think we need to do a better job to see that nothing like that happens in our city again.
Yeah, I would suggest that happened. Like I said, the owner got, of all the 4 incidents that happened prior to the one that we encountered, she got one warning that is documented in the police report. So it just seems like there's an awful lot of wiggle room or leniency that, again, could result in some really serious things down the line if it's not fixed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, everybody knows me, but I'm Jerry Rowe. I'd just like to speak to this whole issue of dogs running at large, since the gentleman brought it up. In defense of law enforcement, there's not a lot they can do unless you can identify where the dog is coming from and catch it in the act. Now, I know for a fact that if you catch them on your security system and turn that video over to law enforcement, especially if you have an idea where they came from. If you were to backtrack them in the snow, for example, and find the house that they're coming from, it will be enforced. Otherwise, their hands are pretty much tied. So, you're out and about, keep that phone handy. If they're coming in your yard, put up a camera if you can, a security camera, but that's just my suggestion, and thank you for your time.
Anyone else?
Val Barnes, 1203 King Street. As I was walking the bike trail a lot, and where the pinheads is, I don't know who's responsible for all that water. It's been that way for like 3 years. So, if anybody ever builds there, that people walk, that would be trespassing in private property because you have to walk around to go around that water. So that's just my suggestion, that maybe somebody does something about it. Because the only people that benefit are the snowmobiles, because it's frozen over when they go on. Thank you.
That is on our radar. We are going to do something about that.
Oh, all right.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? All right, then we'll move on to old business. Is there any old business, Scott?
No, sir.
Okay. Next is tag day request.
I'll move the tag day request to the table.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed say no. Tag day requests are approved. Next is Walk the Beat Park request.
I'll make a motion to approve we gotta approve the park permit. Is that what we gotta do, or is it just?
The request is to waive the fees associated with the park permit.
Reading this and looking at the benefit to the area, I would agree that to waive the fees for the park permits for this event.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed say no. Walk the Beat request is approved. Next is Resolution 2212 pay grade. Scott, enlighten us on this one.
Absolutely. Currently, we have 2 openings. I think the committee was finishing their interviews this afternoon. excuse me, one is for DPW office coordinator and the other is City Hall administrative assistant. Currently, the DPW job is a pay grade 3, the City Hall is a pay grade 2. Over the last few years, we have realized that the duties and responsibilities are near identical. A lot of that goes to the two ladies that are/were currently in those positions. So we are asking that the DPW pay grade, City Hall pay grade be moved to a pay grade 3. The numbers are included in the resolution, and with the openings and promotions in the first year alone, even with this pay grade increase, the city will save $28,000. So it's not going to be a financial burden to increase it from a 2 to a 3.
Looking for a motion.
I'll move to accept resolution 2212, pay grades.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I have a question on this, guy. This is primarily concerning, I believe, Brooks' position,
Correct.
and this will actually result in a pay raise for Brooke?
This won't. She already received a pay raise by moving up from the City Hall administrative assistant to the assistant finance officer treasurer.
Okay.
So she's only getting one pay increase this year.
All right, well, I tried, Brooke. All right. Roll call on that, please.
Sure. Connell,
Yes.
Signida,
Yes.
Heidelberg,
Yes.
Holmstrom,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Malali,
Yes.
Salter.
Yes. Resolution 2212 passes. Next is Resolution 2213, EDA ARPA grant. That definitely needs a little help.
Yeah.
with us.
Basically, it's a project coming into a possible solution as far as funding. Our lift station number 2, which is down on Lake Street, has way beyond its life expectancy. Capacity has been an issue in the past. The force main associated with that, which comes all the way up to M Station, and don't correct me if I'm wrong, Brian. We got a county M station and a W station. I always get them backwards. But basically, the county lift station that's in front of Crosswinds Marina. That force main needs to be replaced, as well as a section of force main on Warner Street from basically in front of DPW up to Benston. So our engineers ran the numbers, and it's about $2.6 million, which is sticker shock to say the least. That's well beyond our financial capabilities on an annual basis. And last Monday, West Michigan Regional Shoreline Development Commission came to us and said that the federal government has, which is the EDA, Economic Development Administration, has ARPA money, which is the American Recovery, now I'm forgetting them, American Rescue Plan Act, had funds left over that they're trying to spend. So we're going to do our best to spend the federal money. The beauty of this is that it's an 80% match, or not a match, an 80% funding from the EDA, which would leave us with just over $500,000 to fund on our own, which I think we can do for over 2 fiscal years, which is what we do with a lot of our projects. Kind of the beauty of having fiscal year end June 30th and another one starting July 1st. The challenge is, the grant is due March 31st. So we have less than 2 weeks to get in an environmental. We have to get beneficiary statements. We're seeking those. We've already reached out to Highlight and How Met. Basically what they have to do is say that they would benefit from this project as an industry, and it would help for any future growth. And if they've got numbers, then we're asking them to put those numbers in as well. We think we've got a real good chance. We met by Zoom with the EDA representative. He liked the project. He thought it had a lot of merit. Windsor Dick kind of was very supportive, and we're very appreciative that they came to us. But they also said to get this grant in 2 weeks is going to be quite a challenge. But why not? For approximately $2.1 million, Brian and I will give it the old college try. So what this grant is asking, or this resolution is asking, that you commit to the $520,000 over 2 fiscal years and authorize staff to submit the grant with all due speed.
All right.
I'll move to.
Second.
Moved and supported. Any discussion?
Is this the same lift station that we were talking about with the other funds, or not?
Yeah, lift station 2 right now, we could bandage that with 2 pumps at about $78,000 a piece. And again, that's just a Band-Aid. If we can tap into some of this federal money and replace the whole thing and increase the capacity, so much the better. And apparently there is some funding that is directed towards Muskegon County from the ARPA funds due to they had a long title for it, but it's basically the closure of the Cobb Power Plant. That communities that had loss of significant power were eligible for additional funds.
No question.
I have one too. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So we're replacing the underground line also with this process from where to where?
From the